TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Teharani, and we are at the CTIA show down in Orlando, March 2011. On our program today is Steve Van Zanen with Acision. He's the SVP of Marketing. Welcome, Steve.
Well, thanks for having me today, Rich.
So tell me a little bit about Acision. Of course, I've known the company for years, and I've been down to Texas to visit. And in case someone doesn't know, please give us an overview.
Yeah, well, Acision has been around for 20 odd years or so. We're well known for our mobile data services. So we're leaders in mobile data. We do 55% of the world's revenue in text messaging, but we do a lot more. We do voice, video, mail, multimedia messaging, real-time charging, quota management. We're in broadband. We do a lot of stuff around policy management, data enforcement, optimization, et cetera, et cetera. And we've done some significant business in this space as well as of late.
So, very exciting survey that you have that you recently came out with, and I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, when you create capabilities to help carriers in the world, it's good to validate with their consumers if whatever we're offering makes sense. So we did a research globally that we did in roughly 5 countries, and first of all to understand what the issues are that consumers have, and secondly, what measures they're willing to take, and thirdly, if they're willing to pay for these measures, because in the end, that's what pays the bill. So, and we found some remarkable comparisons globally, which we didn't expect when we set out to do the first research in the UK. So we went on to the US, we went on to Brazil, went on to Singapore and Australia. Vastly different markets, but with very similar results.
So in terms of carriers, what is it that they should know from the research that you've done?
Well, I think carriers are doing all they can, because they're investing the right level of money in order to get the best quality of service to their customers. However, networks have all one similarity, which is they are basically best effort. They're packet-based networks, IP, and it means that the payload, which is very important for the consumer in terms of how the service behaves, requires a different, let's say, manipulation. And not only manipulation, but it's actually, you can consider those to be value-added services, which make services run better, and consumers in many cases are willing to pay for those improvements.
So it's not just enough to be a pipe for consumers, you need to be more.
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. An IP pipe, however bandwidth you throw at it, it's going to attract more bandwidth, right? That's going to cause congestion. It's going to cause certain services not to run properly, because the network will start dropping parts, in order to circumvent the congestion. That means that certain services will start stalling, like video, or you get a bad audible quality like voice over IP. If you manage those services on a subscriber level and make sure that they actually run properly, there is a real opportunity to differentiate the network itself on a subscriber and on a content level.
Now, in terms of surprising results of your research, are there any things that might be interesting in terms of just something you wouldn't think was the case?
Yes, I think the acceptance levels of consumers of measures taken by carriers is actually quite high, as long as the carrier is transparent on what those measures are. And secondly, the acceptance levels to actually pay and accept VAS services is high as well, particularly in the US.
Now, if you can look into the future, what do you think some of the trends are that we should be aware of going forward?
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is a gradual shift to competing on quality of experience. It's not just the quality of service, but the whole experience around the services. The choice, the transparency, the fact that carriers will talk to their consumers about what's going on, the choice that they have in terms of the settings, the transparency in terms of how they communicate with consumers, and the choice of value-added services. All of that combined, I think, will allow carriers to compete on a different level, which is known as quality experience.
Did you do any research on devices and how important they may be in this whole mix?
Well, yeah, we did ask. Obviously, we asked the device types that consumers are using, and obviously that has an impact on the quality of experience. On a larger screen, people know much quicker what the quality is that they're looking at, and has a bigger impact than a smaller device. But nevertheless, on the device type or brand itself, we didn't do the research.
Okay, well, it seems now that Apple's become more willing to share its technology with other vendors or other carriers, and the carriers are consolidating anyway, that it seems that there's a broad broad set of choices of carriers for Android devices and iOS devices anyway.
Yes, there is, and the fact that the Googles are working with carriers, I think, says it all, right? There's a real appetite to make the whole quality experience end to end, from the network to the device, a much better experience.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being on the program. We really appreciate you having you here today.